Program Director, SAMSA Chairperson, and SAMSA CEO, and distinguished guests. Good evening, and thank you for affording us this opportunity to do a presentation here. I'm not sure if there are any other SAMSA board members present, but if so, then I also extend my greetings to them. I wish to start off by, first of all, expressing my sadness and remembrance to all of the South Africans that have succumbed to this COVID pandemic in our country, specifically 2020, as well as all of those South Africans that have lost their jobs for various reasons, mostly probably as a result of COVID. And I wish to just structure my presentation in three parts, looking back in 2020, what we as a company practically experienced, and then a short few points on looking ahead in 2020. 2020 required that South Africa Incorporated pull together, especially, and I'm only speaking on behalf of the maritime sector, so I'll confine my comments to that. And we, in particular, enjoyed a fairly good relationship and partnership with SAMSA during 2020. There were significant impacts on the supply chain and in the supply chain, and we could see how that impacted on the demand side. And in fact, for us, our clients were particularly impacted on that, both as a result of the lockdown and the pandemic. The energy sector faced fundamental shifts, and whilst specifically in the supply and demand of fuel and issues with respect to storage. As a company, AMSOL, of course, were not immune to the effects of the pandemic, and we are really now seeing the after effects of 2020 going through into 2021, 2022, and probably 2023. For us and globally, and more generally, the H in safety, health, environment, and quality became a very strategic priority, especially managing the well-being of seafarers, which were confined to the vessels for extended periods of time. For some individuals in our fleet, they were on board the vessel in excess of 120 days. And as you can well imagine what that did to the resilience and well-being and mental state of our seafarers. And we spent quite a lot of time on ensuring the health and well-being of our seafarers, our general staff, so much so that we spent to the tune of 5 million rand on specialist PPE, virus protection measures, testing protocols, and awareness measures. We had to, and we are, and we work closely with employees to ensure that there was a business continuity during the lockdown. We had to do this as our clients looked at us as an essential service provider to keep their businesses going. And during this time, we had very good cooperation with SAMSA on some areas where we had to get special dispensations to keep our vessels going where there was an outbreak of COVID. We, of course, had to adjust our business model to manage our clients' changing cost pressures. As you well know, it became about costs, sustainability, protection of employment. And we had significant and robust challenges within our company. But notwithstanding all of these challenges of COVID, as a company, we managed to spend 230 million rand on assets, both to add to the South African Ships Register, in investments, sustainability, and as a result of client. Please don't write all this stuff down, Subantu, because you kept me for the last. But certainly, we were able, and I must thank the employees and our shareholders and clients in particular, that we were able to spend this money to ensure business continuity and sustainability. Three additional vessels were put on the South African ships registry in support of the local flag. And key for us was, of course, local employment, especially also in areas where we have time charters with foreign-owned, foreign-flagged, and foreign-registered vessels on short and medium-term contracts in South Africa to ensure that at least a third of those seafarers are employed, and not just foreign seafarers. If we look ahead, Program Director, and I'm cognizant that I'm last on the list and your 5-minute timeline. For us, the looking ahead in 2021 is all about consolidation, both of business, of our economy, of our sector. It is to strengthen and foster collaboration, and then, of course, to grow. And of course, growth for us in particular, and for South Africans more general, and Imtuzami from Sayoga may have alluded to it, is looking outside South Africa in the SADC region, especially in Mozambique, Ghana, Angola, Namibia, and export South African expertise and competence there. A key focus is the continued challenge of business disruption due to COVID-19. We don't really know what will happen, how it will happen, but we need to be in a constant state as South Africa Incorporated and as businesses, and that's the new business reality for the foreseeable future. The health and well-being of employees remained the key focus, and it's quite interesting during this period where we could not have any meetings. We had the Zoom platform meetings and Microsoft Teams, and it was quite refreshing to interact directly with our vessels, with our ship's masters, with the seafarers, where you could at least get a lot closer to them and understand their own frustrations and irritations, and being able to support for their families remotely because they were not on shore leave. So it really showed us that there is another way of interacting with our seafarers. We are going to, in the years ahead, in the months ahead, make tough decisions to ensure sustainability of businesses, of our business in particular, around cost efficiency, around management, about skills, about competence, about remuneration structures, all to ensure the preservation of jobs. An important focus for us remains on strengthening the AMSOL network with industry organizations, and a lot of the speakers went before me, but we are going to have to work together, and remembering that we're all in this together. And then we remain committed to partnering with government, notwithstanding Operation Pakisa, but partnering with government to ensure that we all pull through this, given the challenges and the business restrictions that lie ahead for us. And with those few words, Program Director, I will stop there and thank you, and wish all of the distinguished colleagues and SAMSA and our government all the best and the very strength in dealing with this socio-economic, financial crisis that we're facing as a result of COVID. Thank you very much.